Hello everyone and welcome to another Homeworlds game commentary. I want to tell you a little bit about how I happened to pick this game. I am in the process of downloading all of the replay logs for all of the games that have been all of the Homeworlds games that have been played on Board Game Arena. I'm a sort of a data scientist, and so I'm really excited to have some Homeworlds data to play with. I'm especially interested in seeing what openings are most popular and most successful and against what other openings. And so anyway, I picked essentially a random game from all the Homeworlds games that have been played on Board Game Arena to take a look at. You can see that this was played in April last year. That's about as far as I've got in downloading all these logs. Board Game Arena only lets you look at so many logs a day since it's demanding on their servers. So I'm having to do it slowly so that it's not too taxing for them and they don't get angry with me. But this is one that I've got. So, and I have no idea who wins this except let's see. So whatever, I think I've seen. I think whatever I remember a little bit from back in the Super Duper Games era, but I'm not positive. Um, since they've got the higher elo, Hydro's at 100, which means they've won some games, but they may have lost some that brought them back down to exactly 100. So I would guess, if I had to guess, I'd say whatever might be a little favored here. Okay, so Hydro goes first. Hydro picks Red Banker, whatever picks Yellow Fortress. I'm a little surprised to see anybody except for me use Red Homestars these days, since it doesn't seem like red is popular anymore. That's all right. Here we go. Building as expected. Hydro goes straight for the yellow. Whatever continues building green. I'm a little surprised nobody went for the red, since the red star accelerates the red economy. I would have seriously considered doing that, especially as if I were whatever here. Okay, whatever might trade or spread out, either so they can move a ship to a new system so that they can be in a position to build medium greens next turn, or they might trade for another color, which would block Hydro from building medium green immediately. Okay, they go for the red, so they've both got a ship of the color of the other person's one-off star. Hydro doesn't want to get left behind on the reds. This is not uncommon here, but Hydro, since they've already got a yellow, they won't have trouble spreading out their reds once they get going. If whatever had started going for red earlier, Hydro might have been stuck with more red than they wanted and no way to get off of their home. But as it is, they've got a yellow and they'll spread out with no trouble. All right, whatever gets the first medium, Hydro gets the next. It's about even right now. Whatever might choose to go for the... I'm a little surprised they didn't build the last medium, since Hydro wouldn't have been able to build the large. But they're spreading out. That's very reasonable. Moving to a yellow star, though, accelerates the yellow economy, and whatever is in a less good position to build yellow than Hydro is. Hydro can get a little bit of a lock on the yellows by building yellow again right now. Okay, that's not what they choose, though. A red star at a red ship at a green star is what I like to call a Gilligan, since it can't go anywhere. Whatever's looking at a shopping spree, sacrificing the large green to build once, twice, three times. Ooh. So with that last build, they're looking at building a little green. I would definitely not have picked the little green. I would have picked the large red to get a second large ship. Hydro has no way of getting a red ship to whatever for an overpopulation. So whatever would have been safe getting another large, they might take it back. Nope, they didn't. Although, of course, if Hydro now takes a large red, which I think they should, then whatever will be able to build a large red on their next turn, which is quite all right. Oh, interesting. All right, Hydro also does a shopping spree. Getting ahead on... boy, Hydro lost their last green ship, but now they've got a material advantage. They've got more large ships. That's exciting. I think Hydro should consider trying to invade Alti and possibly capture a ship. All right, whatever. Should probably... Ooh. Can't build red. They could build that last small green, but that doesn't get them all that much. They might be better off spreading out the medium reds, separating them so that Hydro can't threaten both at once. Yeah, that's what they're looking at. Oh, yeah, and in particular, they're threatening to overpopulate the reds in Hydro's home now. So Hydro should trade maybe for... Oh, they should trade or move, that is. I think I would trade the small red for green or... No, not blue. A home that can't build is scarcely a home at all. I would trade that red for... Well, if you trade the red for green, then whatever gets to build medium. And we'll see what they pick. Oh, I don't like that so much. Trading away the large red for a green. That will let whatever build the large ship that just went back to the bank. Oh, yeah. Okay, if I'm whatever, I'm absolutely building that large green either at your home, or you could sacrifice a little green to build it in either of your colonies. This is great. Yeah. Thanks for the ship, Hydro. I don't say that in a mocking way. I'm just... You've given an opportunity to your opponent that you didn't have to. All right. I learned a quote from... Okay, I'm not going to be able to say it correctly because I've forgotten the term, but I heard just a couple of days ago that Bobby Fischer liked to say, Patzer sees check, Patzer takes check, with Patzer, I believe, being a derogatory term for a new chess player. That they can't resist giving a threat even if that threat doesn't do much for them. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, I'm eating my words now. So this looked to me like a totally empty threat. Hydro threatens the R2 in Alti, the R2 runs away, and Hydro's accomplished nothing. But under these circumstances, Hydro can now, depending, subject to how whatever reacts, Hydro is threatening to move their R3 into whatever's home to overpopulate all of whatever's red. They would have no large ships left, and Hydro would be in a really good position. So whatever, I think, should respond to that threat. They need to defend their home, and I don't think that they can simultaneously defend Alti. So that's actually a pretty good threat from Hydro. Although, I think if I were whatever, I would defend my home by moving the small red to Alti, so that if Hydro stays there and captures, whatever can move their R2 to Alti, and now whatever's lost quite a bit of material, but whatever at least has 2 large ships to Hydro's 1. So good move, but whatever has a fairly good defense, I think. Yeah. Okay, they think like me. What do you know? All right, Hydro could still capture the medium. I don't think that's ridiculous. But I think they should also strongly consider just running away. Okay. Yeah, that's doing. They can also ignore the problem because if whatever uses their medium to catastrophe in Alti, then Hydro is they're losing similar amounts of material. Whatever might be losing slightly more, but Hydro doesn't have to waste the turn actually doing that capture in Alti. They can just let that situation sit. So they were thinking about building a G1. Oh, trading away for more yellow. I don't care much for that. If I were Hydro, I would just build that little yellow rather than trading for it. They're not quite in danger of getting overpopulated in reds yet. All right, let's see if whatever decides to overpopulate or if they look for something else. They sacrifice little green. Oh, okay, to build little yellow, to build little red, to overpopulate. That's interesting. Yeah, okay, so they lose a small green instead of the medium red. That's good. That's good. All right, whatever's up a large, it still has some color diversity here, although Hydro has all of the yellows. I think if I were Hydro, I'd build that last little yellow. Try to shut whatever out. Okay. Looking at building little red. That's all right, but still reds at a green star are kind of stuck. They're still thinking about it. Yep, they stick to it. Whatever. Okay, yep. Trades for large green. That's all right. I would have considered trading for yellow, since yellow's whatever is actually missing. But this is all right too. A large green is really powerful for these shopping spree moves. All right, Hydro has now taken the time to rescue the stranded reds in Bleb. Let's see whatever picks. Ooh, green at a green star. That is ugly. Yeah, that's a might be a double Gilligan. Not only can that green ship not go anywhere now, if it tries to build, it puts itself in danger of an overpopulation. But with three greens in one system. Okay, that's better. At a yellow star, they can at least move somewhere. So that large green is now threatening to go to Bleb and start capturing all of Hydra's colonists. If Hydra just adds more colonists, they're just making it a more attractive target. I think they should start spreading out. More colonists? Yeah, okay, so I think whatever should invade. Yep, here it comes. All right, what does Hydro do now? They could try to run. Ooh. Not a lot of choices here. They could try building green at home in hopes of overpopulating after whatever is done investing in capturing colonists. I don't like that very much. I think I would sacrifice the medium yellow to evacuate the medium red and one of the other ships. Looks like that's their first impulse, but they took it back at first. Okay, they moved both reds to the same system. I would have strongly considered moving both of those to medium yellows. Partly, that would both accelerate the yellow economy, split these ships up so that they can't be simultaneously threatened by whatever's superior large count, and put them in places where they can run away if they get threatened one at a time. And accelerating the yellow economy is kind of a big deal for Hydro right now, since they've got the only yellow ships on the board. Although that might change in a moment if whatever decides to sacrifice the medium red to capture one, which I think honestly I would. Whatever doesn't want to be left out of the yellows forever. Okay, well, I think whatever here, like many players, may not have given enough thought to sacrificing a medium to capture a small. If you sacrifice a medium to capture a small, you're giving up 2 pips, gaining a pip, and taking away a pip from your opponent. So pip count wise, you break even, and under these circumstances, whatever would still have had red at their home, they would have gained a yellow ship, which they didn't have before, and that opportunity is about to leave them. I think Hydro should run away with that little yellow, though I think it should not join the other ships in Hour Up. Okay, Hydro looking at just building a yellow at home. That would be alright, I suppose. Building a yellow in Bleb. I like that less. If whatever decides to sacrifice their medium red, they can now capture 2 smalls, which I think is definitely worth it. Yeah, if I'm whatever, I'm definitely capturing those. Oh, just capturing 1. Interesting. Well, if I'm Hydro, I would strongly consider capturing that yellow one right back. Sacrificing one of my Gilligans here. Hydro's building medium. That's not unreasonable. Hydro shouldn't build yellow right now. That'll get overpopulated. Yeah, with the... yeah. I was a little slow to see that with now that whatever has a yellow in Bleb, they can move and threaten both ships in this other colony, and those ships can't run away. This is why I think they should have been split up and put at yellow stars where they could run away. Hydro now might sacrifice their Y2 to run away both of these ships. That's a pretty heavy price to pay, though. I don't like it. We'll see what they pick. Ooh, no, they're thinking of invading. If whatever didn't have a medium red, then this would be a perfectly fine invasion. But as it is, whatever is just going to capture both. Well, I say perfectly fine. That might be an exaggeration. As it is, whatever is just going to capture both of these invaders, and Hydro will have lost the medium that they sacrificed and these 2 invading ships. So whatever, Hydro should take that back. Okay, they do. Let's see what they come up with instead. Building the yellow? Yeah, that's all right. Not perfect, but could be worse. Oh, that's not so good. A shopping spree right now. The only way this comes out acceptable is if they also build that large yellow in Bleb to get rid of the threat whatever has of overpopulating Hydro's home and winning. Yeah, I think they just didn't like that. Looking for another shopping spree in yellow, yellow, yellow. Yep, that's a little bold. I don't like it very much. Whatever is still going to capture Hour Up colonists. Yeah, this is not looking good for Hydro. All right. Well, Hydro had better spread out those yellows or trade for green. Spreading out. No, if Hydro sticks to yellow, they won't keep having this problem where whatever invades a colony and makes Hydro sacrifice things to run away. Let's see, whatever builds. Yeah, they've got the green advantage here. I think if whatever just keeps building green, Well, Hydro can get in on the action by trading their large for green. I think they should. No, I don't like spreading out anymore right now, Hydro. Green right now is the only ticket to medium ships. So I think Hydro should trade their large at home for green. That's all right too. Yeah, but if they trade their large at home for green, then they have the opportunity to build both green and yellow. By trading the yellow in their colony, they can only build green. And that ship is now stuck and will possibly get invaded on by whatever's extra large ship. Okay, whatever is now picking the first blue ship of the game. Blocking Hydro from building a medium ship. I guess if I'm Hydro, I build green. Yeah, they're spreading out the yellows, but at some point you want to have. It's not a bad thing to have two ships at your home. It gives you more access to more technologies in one place. Look at whatever's home. Just why can't you be more like whatever? A nice rainbow of technologies. All right, whatever moving blue to their colony. That's a good move. They can trade for a yellow of any size. I think that's what they should be looking to do next. Hydro building green. Yeah. They need to build and build fast. Whatever. I think Hydro should have kept their ships at home though. They need to keep them where it's safe, where they've got a large defender. Okay, whatever. Now I think I trade here for. Well, they might be a little bit nervous about having a green ship at a green star with two greens staring them down. But it's not too much of a problem just yet. Hydro can only get them both into the colony by sacrificing their only large ship. But I think whatever might panic and trade away their large green. I think it would be better to trade either of the reds for a yellow. Okay, pushing the blue advantage. That's all right, but you're going to want to get yellow at some point. Hydro sticking with the green. That's all right. That is the biggest ship they can build now, and they definitely need more material. And, having three greens is a good defense against the large green that could invade, so that's something. Okay, here we go. That looks better. Now, whatever's got a yellow ship and can invade where they feel like, although I don't think they should invade with the large here. Hydro thinking about trading for yellow. I think that would be all right. Having two greens in Fost is good enough to deter whatever from sending in the large, since Hydro could overpopulate with just a build. Yeah, that's pretty all right. Though Hydro is going to want a red. At this point, I think whatever. They don't want to invade with the large green, but they can invade with the medium red, since Hydro doesn't have any red. Although, what they should really be looking out for is the fact that Hydro now has two greens and a medium yellow that they wouldn't mind sacrificing. They could send to Europe all at once for an overpopulation, destroying not only the large green, but all the other ships, since the star would go down. So I think whatever needs to either move that large green or trade it. Even moving the large green is not great, because if I'm Hydro, well, I would at least consider sacrificing moving all this in. Yeah, so try not to go down the rabbit hole too much. But if Hydro If whatever moves the green away, Hydro sacrifices yellow 2 to move 2 greens into Elrop. Whatever can't capture both of them without sacrificing their large red. Because sacrificing the medium red in Elrop for 2 captures leaves a medium that they can't capture because that's whatever's last medium ship in this system. And then Hydro could build green to overpopulate, and whatever loses their only blue, their only yellow, and kind of has to start from scratch. But anyway, whatever needs to defend their colony. That's the long and short of it. Okay. Combining the defense with an attack is all right, except that Hydro can just move that little yellow away, and whatever is stuck with a green ship at a green star, which isn't great. Yeah, Hydro can just run away. So whatever still has a little bit of a problem with this much material being vulnerable. If I'm Hydro, I'm continuing to evacuate this colony. Yeah, I'd just keep spreading these ships out. I would move a red or maybe a blue to Gabrit so that Gabrit isn't so ugly and stuck. No, they're making it a more attractive target. Okay, they changed their mind. Building blue. Still making it a more attractive target. Hydro's got an interesting choice here, whether to throw these ships into the colony or do they want to keep building green. I think if I'm Hydro, I move one of my greens back home. Maybe, or push one of them toward whatever. No. Jeez, I don't know. They've got a difficult choice. Let's see what they'd pick. Sacrificing the green to rebuild the green and another green. Okay, well, they could have accomplished that with just a simple build. And I don't like that very much. Whatever can just build the last large green at home. Yeah, they didn't. They looked at how the bank shaped up and decided they didn't like it. I think they thought they were going to get the large green, but they didn't. If you sacrifice a medium green to rebuild the medium green, you're not gaining any build actions. That can still be really helpful. They could, for example, sacrifice the medium green, rebuild the medium green, and build a small yellow back at home, where they didn't otherwise have build power. I think of that as a mini factory. Still a hard choice. Okay, getting red. So they have lost the... If they do that, they've lost the threat of moving 2 greens into Ewerop at once. But they can now actually defend themselves if that R2 decides to move into Faust. So Hydro is looking a little better than they were. Whatever has that big, beautiful green ship, but it's not going anywhere, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, whatever, sacrificing the little blue to trade for a big yellow. All right, now I think they may have been sick of their large ship being tied up, unable to move. I think that's a pretty good move. All right, Hydro, you've got a couple of moves before that large yellow could start invading your colony. What are you going to do about it? I think if I'm him, I build red or yellow. Even green's not a bad idea. I definitely don't trade anything away because anything they trade in Faust gives up a color. I build something. What are they picking? They're looking at red. That's reasonable. Okay. Ooh. So whatever is invading, I think what they want to do is they want to take 2 moves to get their large into Faust to threaten to start capturing things. And that they wanted to stop off at Hutronox to create a threat in the meantime so that Hydro has less time to respond to the threat they're about to create in Faust. Although, if I'm Hydro, I would seriously consider sacrificing the medium green to overpopulate the yellows to get rid of whatever's advantage in large ships. Let's see what they do. Do they see it? No, I don't like that so much. This is opening up a large build for whatever. Whatever will get another large ship by building Y3 and Lower up. So I don't like that. Yeah, build them in Hutronox. Overpopulate. Or possibly no. That's I was thinking about sacrificing the G2 to build 1 in Hutronox and build 1 somewhere else, but that's still, and building another yellow somewhere else, but that still opens up a large yellow build for whatever. So don't do that. Overpopulate now. Spreading out the reds. Actually, that's not too bad. At first, well, no. Okay, if you can spread out the reds, I think what Hydra's got in mind is that they like to sacrifice the G2 to build medium and then large on their next turn. The problem is that both of the things that whatever might like to do, either capturing this Y1 with a sacrifice or moving into Faust, either of those two things negates that approach, because if Hydro builds that R3 in Faust, whatever can get there first and capture it. Or if they sacrifice their little red to capture the yellow here, now there's another red ship in the bank, and Hydro can't get that large ship by building. So I think this is not such a great move. And again, Hydro's got a ship that's stuck. Okay, so they didn't like it either. Well, or they like something like it because they're considering something similar. Yeah, and they stick with that. Nope, I don't like this at all. Whatever can capture or invade Faust, and things look pretty good for them. Yep, they capture. That blocks the build that Hydro might have liked. So now what does Hydro do? Hydro continues to suffer. That's what. Trading out for a green. Yep. Okay. Well, I always like having a green at home, even later in the game, because without green, how can one build? Hydro actually has the advantage in green ships at this point. And whatever, if I was saying that whatever should invade Faust, but Hydro can defend fairly reasonably by sacrificing the G2 and overpopulating. They'd lose 2 mediums, and whatever would lose their large. Could be worse. Let's see if whatever decides to invade, or if they keep building. Or something else. Let's see. They want to invade? Yeah, okay. Hydro. They can sacrifice the Y2 to run away. Or they can sacrifice the G2 to build twice and overpopulate. I think I like that better. Get rid of that Y3. That additional large ship has been such a pain for so long. Looks like they're just clicking buttons. They clicked offer draw and restart a bunch. That might be an indication of frustration. No. I don't care for this move. They've grouped all of their ships up again, sacrificed the Y2, grouped all their ships up in a place that they can't move out of, and all Hydro has to do is move that Y3 into Ipru, and Hydro can't run again because they have no yellow. They should not stick with this. Nope. Nope. Whatever should just invade again. Here it is. That's why if you're down in material, especially if you've got a large ship chasing you around, you need to keep your ship spread out, and whenever possible, they should be in places where they can run away if they get threatened like this. Or in the like they had in the previous position, you can have a plan to overpopulate the ship that could invade your colony. So now Hydro's got nowhere to run. Best they can do is, they could. No, I was thinking they could build a green, which actually building a green is not all that bad. It both threatens to blow up all of the ships in Ipru after whatever has invested possibly in capturing some of them, and sets up Hydro. If there's not a catastrophe, then Hydro can just build a large green at their home next turn, which is pretty good. I think I build a medium in Ipru, but of course I've only been looking at it for a few seconds. Let's see what they come up with. They build and build green teleport, and okay, that's not too bad. I think that's about that's seems like a safer move, but Hydro's in pretty big trouble here. Let's see, green teleport plus. Oh, interesting. Building both mediums back at home. I kind of liked it better when they built an extra red in Ipru, threatening to overpopulate the reds after whatever spends a red to capture some, nullifying their effort. I don't like this because Hydro's opened up the large greens for whatever to build. Yeah, I don't like this so much. Okay, they restarted again. Sacrifice the G2, build and build. Yeah, I think that's their best move. All right, whatever. I think, notwithstanding the fact that Hydro is going to get to overpopulate the reds if he feels like, I think whatever should sacrifice the R2 to capture a couple of them, the medium and a small. Or they can just wait. Yeah, no, it's nothing. Well, no. They shouldn't build that G2 because then Hydro builds a large, and Hydro's on much closer to even footing that way. Yeah, Hydro builds the green 3. No. Not the yellow. Not the yellow. Saving those colonists is not that important. Oh, jeez. Hydro could have built a G3. And they should have done. All right, whatever's turn. They're finally going to capture some of those colonists. Hydro can capture one of those ships back, or build a red for the catastrophe. I think I would build. Or I might actually build a G2 at home, so that which would give Hydro a factory and give them, put them very close to. Oh, you know what? You know why Hydro didn't build all those greens at home before? One of the reasons was that whatever would have won immediately by sacrificing their Y3 and sending their little green all the way across the universe to catastrophe all of Hydro's ships. Okay, so that move that I thought was okay, but not as good, was actually terrible. All right. Yeah, they're going for the catastrophe. Nope, changing their minds. I think they should build. I think they should build the G2 at home, even though it means whatever gets away with all of these reds. I think Hydro needs another large ship. If I'm whatever, I spread out my greens so that I can compete with in the color where Hydro's most likely to get a foothold again. 'Cause I think Hydro is going to get overpopulated. 'Cause I think Hydro is going to get overpopulated. 'Cause I think Hydro is going to get overpopulated. 'Cause I think Hydro is going to get overpopulated. 'Cause I think Hydro is going to get overpopulated. 'Cause I think Hydro is going to get overpopulated. 'Cause I think Hydro is going to get overpopulated. 'Cause I think Hydro is going to get overpopulated. 'Cause I think Hydro is going to get overpopulated. 'Cause I think Hydro is going to get overpopulated. 'Cause I think Hydro is going to get overpopulated. 'Cause I think Hydro is going to get overpopulated. 'Cause I think Hydro is going to get overpopulated. 'Cause I think Hydro is going to get overpopulated. 'Cause I think Hydro is going to get overpopulated. 'Cause I think Hydro is going to get overpopulated. 'Cause I think Hydro is going to get overpopulated. 'C No, they're going for red. You know, locking Hydro out of red is also a valid approach. Hydro, ooh, should definitely not sacrifice the G3. They won't get enough builds out of it. Building G2, yeah, I think that's the only reasonable option. No, this does not work. four yellows at home just does not work. Sorry. Y2, building yellow. Hydro seems very opposed to building more green. Um, Green is a funny color. Um, it's harder to get ahead in green than the others. You have to put more time into it, since a green sacrifice to get more greens is one build less effective because of the sacrifice. I think whatever is about to find that. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. All right. So Hydro, by taking one extra piece out of the yellow economy, out of the yellow bank, made it so whatever could sacrifice their green to get yet another large. And now Hydro's in bigger trouble. Bigger trouble of bigger ships. Trade for red. I don't think anything's going to matter very much at this point. This might be a slow, painful death, though. All right, Hydro builds a green, as they should. Well, you know, they built that green, but now whatever can build yet another large yellow. Oh, interesting. They didn't take the large; they took the green. Whatever has many right things they can do, and Hydro has no things that are going to help much. They could build that large, but it wouldn't help them. Yeah, spreading out the yellows. No, honestly, I think I would, well, spreading out the yellows is good, but I would send it to any color except for green. And I think it would be better to spread out the greens, honestly. Because at least if you spread out the greens instead, then you're moving a green closer to whatever's home, and if they build the large, you can catastrophe. But Hydro can't afford to lose the ships. Hydro's just in big trouble. Yeah, and so Hydro just is looking at just moving back home. Yeah, it's pretty hopeless here. Um, so whatever could invade the colony if they feel like. Oh, interesting. They spread out their greens. Okay, this is Hydro's big chance. All right, Hydro, don't mess this up. You have to build that large ship at your home. If Hydro builds that large ship at home, I think they've actually got a chance. Whatever could mess up just a little bit and let Hydro back into this. Okay. Hydro's got two large ships now. Let's see if they can make anything of it. All right, whatever invades the colony, as they should. Whatever has red and Hydro does not. I think he should. There's not really a good option here. Could sacrifice the little yellow to run the green ship. So he could sacrifice the little yellow to move to the G2 to a green to a new Y1 star, and whatever can just chase, and then Hydro can run away again, and whatever can chase again. But I have found that people sometimes are pretty unwilling to just keep chasing even when they should, because Hydro Hydro can only run away a couple of times here before this green ship is not going to have anywhere to run to. So I think that's what they should do. Hydro should run in hopes that whatever gets tired of chasing, and whatever should just not get tired of chasing. Sacrificing to bring the green over. That's an interesting idea. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Actually getting a red ship, well, okay, it looked good for a moment. Getting the red ship is good, but it does open up a chance for whatever to build yet another large ship, which is less good. Yeah, whatever should build the green 3. Yeah, if whatever hadn't been able to build that, then it would have been great trading for that R3, but as it is, it's not so great. Hydro is pretty stuck. Hydro, I think, should still try to run around and hope that whatever gets tired of chasing, because we don't see this so much when we're watching this in real time, and I just keep hitting next. But actually, this game is taking place over multiple days. You can see how much time is going by. They started on April 27th, and in the log now it's May 2nd. So this is at least 5 days that have taken place. So it's easier to wear people down in a longer game like this, I think. All right, let's see. They were thinking about building red, but then changed their minds. Yeah, Hydro should not build red. I think they should establish a new foothold at, I guess, a blue system with their large ship. Ooh, jeez. Yeah, Hydro does not have great options here. Hydro's not going to be able to build much is the biggest problem. Yeah, moving back home. Yeah, at least that way they've got a factory, but they've got nothing to factor with. I think that they're going to have to trade for blue and start building, trade for blue or red and start building in that color, because that's all that's left in the bank. Yeah, whatever takes the yellow. This is going to be a long squeeze. Yeah, Hydro wants to trade for blue, but that gives another large ship to whatever. Gosh, what a what a disaster. Okay, Hydro just passes. I think they might be getting tired. Whatever's trying to find the fastest route to victory, maybe. That may have just been a pass of frustration more than saying that they have nothing left to do at all. Hydro moves out. Whatever sacrifices to move a couple of blues. Yeah, yep. I didn't. It took my brain a few moments to figure out why this would work. Hydro will have to sacrifice. Hydro can't trade that blue to any other color. There are no other larges in the bank. And they can't run away without sacrificing their medium yellow. And they can only capture. Well, I guess they could sacrifice their red 3 to capture both of them. But then they lose quickly to a large invasion. And Hydro's going to lose that large ship when whatever sacrifices to overpopulate it. Yeah, or they can... it's a cute idea to spread everything out here, but Hydro can't actually attack in Hutronox because they'd have to sacrifice their only red ship, which is the only ship in their home, to do it. So that's not going to work very well. All right, whatever now is moving blues, sacrificing to move blues into Hydro's home. Hydro can take one of them. They trade for yellow. This is... Yeah, whatever. Sacrifices to build and catastrophe Hydro's blues. The homeworlds are now connected. So this is going to be a very short game from here, I think. Yeah, whatever getting more reds. Hydro sacrifices yellow, tries to get some semblance of an economy back at home. That's actually not a terrible looking homeworld. You can build and you can diversify, and there's actually some stuff left in the bank now. The problem is that whatever is going to have plenty of reds. Oh yeah, or they can just move in now. And they've got... Oh, come on, stop fiddling around. by moving in all these ships. Whatever has 2 ways to win on their next turn. Whatever Hydro does. Okay, so whatever can build red in Hydro's home or sacrifice the R3 to capture everything. They sacrifice for the capture. I think that is the more glamorous way to win by capturing everything. So it looks like you really dominated. You had all these ships in your opponent's home. Oh boy. Well, there were some very interesting parts to that. Sorry that there was so long at the end where Hydro was just kind of flailing because whatever had such a material advantage. But I hope you learned some things, and I had some fun, and thanks for watching.